Good afternoon. Let's continue our chapter Law and Social Justice. Law and Social Justice. Yesterday we discussed regarding as those examples of a law which used to the proper functioning of a society, in which as a Minimum Wages Act, Domestic Violence Act, prohibition of a child labor, which indicates as all those children below the age of 14 or below the age of 14, which are engaged in a hazardous works. This is as illegal as according to the Constitution of India. Next, the safety bylaws. For the setting up of the production units, the safety bylaws are followed strictly. Bylaws means any of a production site, if industry has a situated, such industry, it will be located at distant lands from the residential areas, not nearer to the hospitals or habitation sites. So most number of industries are located at the outskirts of cities. Outskirts of cities are preferably used for location of industries because industries, they emit as the poisonous gases and pollution in environment, disturbance in environment, noise created by the industries. Because of such incidents, most number of industries are located as the outskirts of cities. Even in a Jalandhar also, industries are concentrated towards as a Hoshiarpur road or either as the Pathankot road, where the habitation is a lesser. People are neither prefer to live in such areas. People prefer to live in centralized parts of cities. Its best example is a Bhopal gas tragedy. In Bhopal, due to the releasing of a methyl isocyanate, hundreds of people lost their lives. In that state of a disaster, the chemical disaster, artificial form of a disaster, in Bhopal gas tragedy, due to release of a methyl isocyanate, led to the death of individuals. So in that case, Union Carbide industry located nearer to the settlements on a midnight of a 2nd of December, due to the leakage of a methyl isocyanate in 1984, a poisonous gas released from the Union Carbide industry of Bhopal. It was an American industry which was used to produce the pesticides for agriculture. The gas released from industry, which led to the hundreds of people which lost their lives. After completion of the more than 30 years of that chemical disaster, man-made disaster, still people struggling for the proper compensation. Compensation in the sense, those families which lost their earning hands, lost their individuals, family members in this disaster, they still not completely compensate. They are still waiting for the justice from the side of a Supreme Court. They are struggling for the justice in society. Seems such kind of incidences are occurred in society, in which as the employers, they exploited their employees. Exploited their employees in a form of work. Less wages given by them to their employees. So the proper functioning of a society, for properly location of these industries in a country for which as a safety bylaws, the enforcement of the laws are mandatory to use. Law, it should be as enforced as strictly which are framed by the government for proper functioning of society. Their application is a desirable. If the before of this Bhopal gas strategy, Union Carbide industry regarding their poor infrastructure and outdated machinery, if failure of the agencies which led to the death of people in a Bhopal gas tragedy. Government frames the law for proper functioning through which as a society can run as a properly. Society can run properly. There are a certain large number of the NGOs are there which are work. NGO stands for the non-governmental organizations are they work for the betterment of society. In that state,